Coming up on 21 Alive, news at 4.
Fire crews have been fighting fires in this extreme cold a whole lot lately. We talked with a firefighter to find out what it takes to battle those fires in the winter.
Plus, identity theft. It can happen to anyone, but one study focuses on how identity crimes have a unique impact on the African American community. Hear from the authors of that study in Watching Your Wallet.
And a story out of Chicago that has a lot of people talking. People are running to a new selfie hotspot. Where is it and why is it going viral? CNN's Jeannie Mose will explain.
Well, the cold is less intense, but more light snow is on the way. I have full details coming up.
Stay with us, everybody.
All that and much more coming up next on 21 Alive News at 4.
On 21 Alive News at 4, another very cold day. Before things warm up, though, we may have another first alert weather day to tell you about. And maybe some snow in the forecast. That's what Chris is telling us. We'll get with him in just a moment.
And the second homicide victim of the year, we now know more about a teenager who was shot and killed over the weekend.
Now, from your local news leader, this is 21 Alive News.
Welcome to 21 Alive News at 4. I'm Heather Herron.
And I'm Linda Jackson. Thanks for being with us for your only local newscast this time of the day. We're going to get to your top news headlines in just a moment. But first, we do want to talk
21 Alive First Alert forecast
about your weather. That's a live look from one of our many Skyview cameras. That's Tower Cam here at Television Park. And it has turned into a very pretty looking afternoon.
I do see some sunshine out there, but we have snow in the forecast. In fact, a first alert weather day coming up. And meteorologist Chris Daniels is here to tell us about that.
Not for tomorrow.
Okay.
That's the good news. We may see some light snow north of Allen County tomorrow morning. There could be a few slick spots. But for Friday, a better chance of snow for the whole area as we're seeing a little bit of low pressure move in that could renew our winter. It's not as cold for the next couple of days. That's good news, too. Let's take a look at Friday. The potential is for snow. It'll be that light, fluffy variety where you can just kind of sweep it off with a broom rather than shovel it. And I don't think the accumulations are going to be that much, but develops overnight Thursday after midnight through Friday morning, at least the first part of the drive. And we know from yesterday morning, it only takes a little bit of snow to cause some problems. And this could be an inch or two, or maybe 3 in a few spots north and west of Allen County. But even here in the city, Friday morning could be kind of a rough commute temporarily. Again, slick roads Friday morning. The threat, light snow, make for slick driving, and that's for our whole area, northeast Indiana, northwest Ohio. I'll talk more about that, plus a brief cool down and a big warm up, too. It's all coming up with a full first alert weather in just a little bit.
All right, Chris, thank you. Let's get to those top news headlines now. Battling fires in this bitter cold. It's a challenge for local fire departments, and they've been dealing with it the past few days, haven't they? We saw how challenging it can be for firefighters during this big fire yesterday at the old Valspar paint factory. It's north of downtown Fort Wayne. When the weather is this cold, we're told the strategy for responding departments does change a bit.
We have to do a lot of rotating of crews in the wintertime, especially we have the wind chills like we do right now.
Rotating crews, staying dry, staying warm, just a few ways firefighters say they try to deal with this bitter cold. And 21 Alive reporter Alex Null went to the Washington Township Volunteer Fire Department today to learn more about all the preparations they make. So don't miss his story at 5.
A Fort Wayne man wanted in connection to a shooting in Fort Wayne is now in police custody. 37-year-old Roderick Gale is being held on a preliminary charge of attempted murder, aggravated battery, and battery. That shooting happened last Friday in the 3200 block of Clinton Court. Nearby Southside High School was put on lockout for a portion of the day while police responded to that shooting.
The Allen County coroner identified a teen shot and killed early Saturday morning. An autopsy determined 15-year-old Christopher Easton died after being shot several times. His death ruled a homicide. That shooting took place in the 4900 block of Vance Avenue. Easton is the second homicide victim in Allen County this year. Now, the first homicide victim of the year, also a teenager, 14-year-old Traquan Herman. He died in a shooting in New Haven Friday. Police arrested a 13-year-old in connection with that shooting.
Lutheran Health Network will no longer offer on-site child care services for its employees beginning May 31st. Officials notified employees about the change at the Lutheran Hospital campus yesterday and provided a list of alternative child care services in Allen County. They will give a stipend of $150 per child to employees who have been using those services. 21Alive reporter Kara Perzuchek will have more from those affected by that change coming up on 21Alive News at 5. Well, here is a story that has everything to do with your health and safety. The Three Rivers Ambulance Authority, known as TRAW, has been busy answering calls for help.
Yeah, it wasn't long ago, you may remember, TRAW was missing hundreds of calls in a month's time. Now that number is down, but some struggles, we understand, do remain. So far in January, TRAW officials tell us they were called out to level 0 20 times. A level 0 means they don't have an ambulance to send to a call and they need assistance with it. Officials say it's trended up this month, but it's still down from historic highs of more than 300 missed calls in January of 2021.
I was happy last year, and I'm even happier now. I say that without reservation. I'm very happy with this organization, with the direction it's going, and I think the people of Fort Wayne and the surrounding county should be as well.
Tonight at 6, 21Alive reporter Taylor Williams will have much more from those TRAW officials she talked with today, including what they've been doing to improve what they say is a much better situation with the ambulance service these days.
The Supreme Court will not weigh in on the issue of bathroom access for transgender students for now. The court declined to hear an appeal from an Indiana school district on the topic. The decision leaves in place a ruling that allowed a transgender boy in middle school to use the bathroom that corresponds with his gender identity. That student is now in high school, where he is able to use his preferred bathroom. At issue was whether either the 14th Amendment's Equal Protection Clause or Title IX protects transgender students. The court's decision not to intervene means that litigation in lower courts nationwide will continue. Allen County Council President Tom Harris has announced plans to run for Allen County Commissioner. Harris wants to fill the seat being left open by Nelson Peters, who announced earlier this month that he would not run for re-election. Harris has been a member of County Council since 2010.
And next on 21Alive News at 4, much more on that full weather forecast. Plus our weekly Walk in the Park segment, we're talking about guided hikes at the Lindenwood Nature Preserve.